I feel it too. The Lord is nearer than He must be nearer than all together now. It is of the weakest of the light, the strongest of the strong shall see the light. And we God shall take us through the night. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. Things and times so rough, don't it get so tough? We never get enough. The Lord is nearer than, the Lord is nearer than, yes, He must be nearer than. Things and times so rough, dirty gets so tough. We never get enough. The Lord is nearer than, He must be nearer than. Now what we are gonna do? Money can't help you. Rich man I feel it too. The Lord is nearer than, He must be nearer than. Oh yeah, He's the strongest of the strong shall see the light. And we God shall take us through the night. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. If you have strong faith, you must stay alive.
Yes, things in time stay with you. Yeah, man. So we have to say apologies for Friday, but there was a situation that we had to address. I will send condolences out to the family, and we ask God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, to take Auntie's soul to keep in perfect peace till we all join together again. Yeah, so we was there, but we had to be somewhere. You know what I mean? Families first in everything that we try to do. You understand? We can't say family, I would mean for show off we self. Yeah. This evening we are going straight and look at transition because the year is at a close, at an end. You know what I mean? Islamic year we start already, long time. But the European man year, yeah, we work with that also, especially the financial year, you know, April. So we are going through with it, and we'll show you the transition, you see, where we lack vision. You understand? We as the children of the slave. We're not we as the African at home. We the children of the slave, because it's a different priority. We are the ones who live in the diaspora. We weren't taken back home. We weren't offered to be taken back home. We weren't told exactly what part of home we came from. We weren't given back names of our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and nothing. So people have to understand our situation, our predicament, and our plight. Racism is with us. We not practice racism now. We receive racism. We are being abused. We are victims of the world societies. Everything that don't look like we are victim within every society. You understand? So there's some people out there now cry tough. Why you cry tough for? Stop it.
in the book of life. Watch every step you make. You surely can't afford to make a mistake. Then let Jah in your heart and show away your evil thought. Love your brother as yourself, and your name will be written in the book of life. Jah Rastafari, I
You see them words they just know? The word they're profound, you know. Listen again. Profound words by the late great Hugh Mandel. See? Listen.
never you cheat, no backbite.
Did you hear that?
Put a stop to fuss and fight.
Are you listening?
Let us keep upright
See?
and walk the path that is right.
What a life we used to live.
And your name will be written in the book of life. Watch every step you make. You
And a true inspiration, you know. And not somebody book. You know, somebody book that we read. And then we plagiarize them words there, you know. And not somebody book that him see and say, here what happened. Let me extract those words from this and try sing it and see how it fit. See? Man have spiritual insight. So them American youth, them a tell you say that people don't do research. When Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben and all the other greats them that put the thing outside there, why you not show respect to them and stop trying to make them seem like them never did the research? You understand? Them never just taught the research, them did the research and write the books and show weird what them find. What them find out, because to understand who we are and what our conditions and circumstances has been as children of the slave is important, has been important and still is important. But some journalists come lately that is being funded by covert operators to come now and create a mental problem with people, with us, and for us, is not being helpful. It's very disingenuine. And I'm telling you, we do not need that stuff in England. If we don't want it over there, so keep it over there. All you do is turn the people them into damn fools. Scammers, liars, and good orators. We have a couple. But the real people, we're not hearing, because we're not squash them. The real sisters, we not see them and hear them, because we not squash them. We understand, enough of us over here in England and other parts of the diaspora, we understand the operations that y'all have been running. We don't want a part of it. I tell you, things in times, man. We don't want a part of it. Keep it over there so in the pan. Still water just don't run deep, It stinks. Still, water stinks. We love fresh running water. You understand me? You see? So don't bother with doing a foolishness and come out England and create all kind of disturbances among for we people. You understand? Our children, them already have suffer a problem. We don't want them to have any more problem in this 2020. Listen. That's a warning to all the media platform that black man they pun, you know. Yeah? Them thieves, them scammers, them liars, them plagiaristic people, them covert agents. Saying? Radical.
The dark brown shades of my skin
Sing it, my brother, sing it.
only add color to my tears.
Teach them, teach them.
Oh, that splash against my hollow bones that rocks my soul.
Warn them till we can't stop warning them.
Looking back over my false dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Is it because I'm black? Somebody tell me, what can I do? Oh Lord. Oh,
Listen to it. We are serious, you know. We don't joke about here, man.
You so black. You so black. When you smile, the stars come out. You so black. When you born, the God come out. Black is not. Black when it's wrong and black when it's right. Black is pyramids and mathematics. Black is melanized in magic. Black is televised and in need of drastic black advancement. Black enhances, black with chances, black with privilege, black with pride, black on purpose on the black hand side, black and beautiful, black and blessed and highly favored, praise the Lord, black and blessed, black and so much more, black and nothing less, black and educated, black is brilliant. Black is strong, black is resilient, black is song, black is infinite, like hip hop or space. Black is grace, black is love, black makes babies, black babies grow up, black is tough, black is hard to do. Black is me, black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. It's something we get to wear, and we get to rock this with honor. I'm black like my granddaddy and my great-great-great-great-grandma. Black is that lift every voice and sing. Black is that letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun. You so black. Oh, you so black. When you smile, the stars come out. Baby, you so black. When you're born, the God come out.
You understand? You better know. Listen this now.
Your Grace, I cannot end this interview without going musical. I know you used to play guitar back then. And I know you love reggae. Please give me an a cappella, Your Grace.
I'm sure I'm getting a bit boring, like an old record playing. And that is, one of the reggae people I've always respected was, the one I call, in inverted commas, the high priest of reggae. Mm-hmm. Robert Nesta Marley.
Yes, indeed.
And I came to love him very much, also because my father who was not very much a fan of, pop music, when he listened to Redemption Song and a few other clips of Bob Marley, he said, this man is a prophet. I remember my father saying it. And so I took time to listen to that particular song, which I've sang it in about 2 or 3 places. I even sang it in Jamaica, in Kingston. They were bowled over. They couldn't believe that an archbishop...
Give me a line, Your Grace.
Old pirate called the robber, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit.
Yes.
But my hand was made strong by the power of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you hail to sing the song of freedom? Oh my God, this is for Good Friday. It's all I ever had.
Oh yes.
Redemption song. But there's a part that I love very much. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Whoa. Have no fear for atomic energy, cause none of them gonna stop the fight.
Oh yes.
How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Woo. Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you hail to sing Redemption Song? So Jesus came to fulfill the book, the redemption of humanity. We shouldn't only sing Redemption Song, we should live in redemption, joyful in the Easter, and we should follow his selflessness and his self-sacrificing love. I think this is where Bob Marley meets Jesus Christ in his prophecy.
With your permission, a fist bump.
See, we not joke with things, man. We remember and we keep moving.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economist, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man in your mind and make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
You understand me? And we don't want no fraudulent behaviors and tendencies. You understand? Keep it to yourself. Come off the internet.
Hey, so that I preach them a lion. The wine farmer. Move out right now. Move out right now. Oh yes. Informer in the area. Him love to run up him out, sir. Informer in the area. Him just a
year 2020 tomorrow. Now we need a change. We don't need none of these people.
Hey, do that up, Pips, my lion. Wine farmer. Move out right now. Move out right now. Oh, yes. Informer in the area. Him love to run up him out, sir. Informer in the area. Him just a peeps round the corner. Informer in the area. Mind what you're doing. Informer in the area. He's bound to be watching. Every joke him say him love, and everything him say him fast. See where him never did see, and go hear where him never did hear. Then go talk where him shouldn't did talk. A little after that you have to hide and go mass. Informer in the area. Him love to run up him out, sir. Informer in the area. Him just a peeps round the corner. Informer in the area. Mind what you're doing. Informer in the area. He's bound to be watching. See Harry gonna jail, and then him can't get bail. Due to the talk he Miss Brown, he's no longer around. And if I one them say a two, and if I two them say a three, and them go chat and chat away, and me say informer in the area. Them love to run up them out, sir. Informer in the area. Them just a peeps round the corner. Informer in the.
Yeah, where you come from, the Bronx. You understand? Or where you're deep into Harlem. Keep it to yourself, man. Nonsense.
Ride for freedom. Freedom. Until there is justice, there will be no peace. Until there is freedom, wars will never cease. The leaders won't listen to my concern. At the sound of the trumpet, the table's gonna turn. See, I plant the seed and I till the soil. Another man come and run away with the spoil.
See, at that we try to say, our elders them give us an opportunity, to have a vision as we grow. Now some young fools and the covert training come to take we back 70 odd years. It's most unfortunate that Martin Luther King and Malik El-Shabazz was at the same time. Even Stuart Lee Carmichael at the same time. But the time was really for Martin Luther King was Vernon Johns. And we got weak and dropped Vernon Johns. The church decision, the ministers, the pastors, them dropped Vernon Johns and selected Martin Luther King. Vernon John was made of steel, and he was a hard African dealing for self and development for self. That's Vernon John. That's the essence of Mr. John. And promote owning and developing land. That's what he did. That's what he attempted to do for us as a people. The ministers of the church, the ministers of the congregation received many complaints from white folks concerning Vernon Johns. So they put him to stand down. And they select Martin. Martin tried to integrate with the European Ashkenazis, siding with the political order of the day, which happens to be the Kennedys. And even though they seem to be humanitarians, those who was riding his back wanted to understand the structure, the political apparatus of America. So them use that situation and make this man here go for civil rights, which is an order of politics. It's not human rights. Give us some value because we were disrespected and dishonored. Think of it proper. Now, who benefited and who has benefited and who are benefiting up to this point in time? Not black people in America. Not at all. So now we have some young people not focusing on what their parents had to endure. And it's just the same as when King, the wool was pulled, or the blinders was pulled from around him eye. And the cock out him ear. And him heard Elijah Muhammad. And he really paid attention, close attention to what Melech Elishabaz was saying. He was out of there. Just got a stride. Just got some exercise. But you all forgot. You Americans, you forgot. You don't even forget. You just dismiss things. You don't know how King was entrapped, seduced, misused. And many of the people them look like us. Look like us. To dirty him. And them use it to threaten his morality and his Christian persuasiveness. You forgot that. Them couldn't do that to Melech Elishabaz. Neither could they do that to Elijah Muhammad. They didn't get a chance to do that, to try to do that to Juali. Come on, you people. Neither they try everything with Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. Them couldn't do that with Morris Bishop. But these people were killed. Stokely Carmichael, he died. Elijah Muhammad, him died. But the two great potentials that we had, that our ears listened to, were killed, were murdered. You understand? You can't find no dot in the life of Melech Elishabaz. What you got is when he was roaming, not when he found himself. For when he found himself, no human being on this earth could touch him. Morally sound. whether some people want to call him hypocrite or not, morally sound. That's the nature of every human being. Take your choice.
Cry for freedom. Freedom.
All of these things are being said because we're going through a transition. Nothing should remain the same. We should use our vision. We should really reflect and understand that these are changes, serious changes in the political atmosphere across the world, internationally. We should ask ourselves, where are we, the children of the slave in the diaspora? Where do we fit? What did we try to accomplish the last 12 months past? How close are we to? Was there any room, or is there any room for consistency in the things that we have tried, if we did try to accomplish anything? Because sometimes when you check and assess and evaluate your position as an individual in your house, everything remains the same from when's last 2004, 2005, 2006, 2015. Everything is still the same goddamn thing. No advancement. It's just that we have survived. We just lived. No accomplishment, no change. No brotherly and sisterly love. No family bonding. Just disconnecting. We can't remember. It's too much to remember. I forgot. You can't forget what you didn't do. Behave yourself, Star.
Until there is justice, there will be no peace. Until there is freedom, wars will never cease. The leaders won't listen to my concern.
How much dance we went to? Which world championship? Which World Cup? Which clash? Death before dishonor. All of these backside nonsense and foolishness. How much money did we give them? How much girls did we see? How much bright lights and video we did in? How much vulgarity we place across the earth and show we young girls them? That's it. Should we be proud of that disgustingness? How much of our children we paid mortgages for in the cemetery? How much of them? Condolences goes out to every person that died. But they didn't die. They were murdered. Their life was taken. Yes, they're dead, but they were murdered. They didn't die through natural causes. Some ailment. No. Them died through the vicious stupidity. And how much souls have we taken and destroyed? How much of our morals and the etiquette have we destroyed through the birth of our women? How much? And we're smiling at the videos and the so-called pittance that rolls off of these idiotic, nasty filthiness, and we're dishonoring our women. All these people, even the son them that come from China, you think them can take for them women and do them things too? Them go to the less privileged people and offer them something, or even misuse them, but them don't go to their stock. But we do that. And all the money that's made, we not make none. And what type of money would that be anyway? It's filth. And only when a person reach a certain time in them life, them start talk about them want to change. And them start behaving like, what them say? The Holy Ghost touched them. You liar. Eh? Some get information medically that them have serious problem. Now they want to find God. They want to be sincere, kind. They want to talk about love. We want to check ourselves. Because we are wrecking ourselves. So I have to say that because that's part of the whole thing. You know? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah. You understand? We have to be intelligent. To the point where we start really being serious as to who we are. But the people who do all these things, I'm just saying, they don't know who they are. They don't recognize a culture. They don't recognize a value. That's why these American boys, them attack and say they're not Africans. Don't you understand? It's not a conversation to have, it's something to listen to, because they're telling you precisely what someone has programmed them mentally to do, and they're covert workers. They're not Africans. What the hell are you talking about? If you say that you didn't born on the continent of Africa, we can work with that. But to say that you're not African, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, what are you trying to speak about? And you're being fooled because you see some trickle-fried lights. Come on, let's be sensible, man. Al Capone was a nice man, you know, but he was a mafia king. Cross his path and kill you. Did he? Or did he get you killed?
At the sound of the trumpet, the tables go
That's what they said. I don't know.
on a turn. See, I plant the seed and I till the soil. Another man come and run away with the spoil. We live in the slums, fighting for crumbs that fall by mistake from the rich man's plate. Equality and justice, what does it mean? I've heard it before, but it's yet to be seen. I'm too strong to give up, too weak to fight, too black to be heard, too poor to be right. Till there's justice, there will be no peace. Until there is freedom, the wars will never cease. The leaders won't listen to my concern. At the sound of the trumpet, the table's gonna turn. Sounds of freedom.
We have thousands of ministers. We have thousands of churches. We have thousands of pastors. We have thousands of them. But yet still we can't find peace. We can't find peace and tranquility in our islands. No, our islands are full of guns, full of drugs, high class, first class drugs. Someone is after our children. But we have so much ministers, theological practices, theological teaching and preaching, administering. And we still cannot see that we are slaves, servitude slaves on those islands. For other than who looks like us, don't look like us. And you get a righteous rhythm like this and nobody want to hear it, you know. They want to see on the girl frock. they want to see and listen foolishness. No value for life, excuse me. None at all. Sad. Pastors, question your actions. Serious.
What does mean love? An African love, you know? What does it mean love? Yeah, without love we just can't go on. 'Cause Jah handed out love to man. Yeah.
There's a land far, far away.
The kings of kings and the lords of lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, I elect of Jah, ever living Jah, earth's rightful ruler. The weak heart are not so, oh no, they shall be like the straw of the wind, drive it away. In whatsoever I and I do, it shall prosper. I and I shall be like the tree that planted by the rivers of water and bringeth forth fruit in due season. I and I lacks the so shall not wither. I and I shall be like the water cover the seas, with the righteousness cover the land. See not he dreader than dread. So me not to show you say me dread. Lightning, brimstone and fire for all weak heart. 'Cause the weak heart are not so no. Me say be careful how you walk in a Babylon. Be careful how you talk in a Babylon. 'Cause look, only for man blast feel, and yet they feel like they are the winner. But Jah know they are the sinner, you know. Say the unrighteous man shall melt like the wax does, you know. Be say from East London down to West London. Be careful how you walk in a Babylon.
That kings of kings and the lords of lords.
Well, yeah, hear me, man. And the locks by your head, yeah, man, you know. You have to come from your heart with true and living love. And the word that you speak, you gotta watch your word. Because Jah hear every little thing that you say and see every little thing you do, you know. We call them and tell you something. A man should be know what to do before we do works that will tell you fire will burn you. Come let me tell you, say the thunder will clap you. Come let me tell you, say be careful how you walk in a Babylon. Be careful how you talk in a Babylon. Cause just send a man to make love, but some man go see the way and make war. And war is not the answer, cause only love can't come.
See, come on, man. You don't hear that many times, but pastor them not hear it. You understand? Now you discriminate against the one who speaks the truth and then not even qualify as you are qualified, a theological teacher and administrator of someone else's things. Listen.
Afternoon, sir.
Yeah, listen, look.
Are these your documents?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you fill these out yourself?
Yeah, I wrote them.
So you wrote this?
Yes.
You're saying you wrote this?
That does it, man.
Tell me, what's your religion?
What?
Why you got away over here all them tied up?
What that tired?
Why you gotta look like this? You ain't got nothing to say, huh?
A promotion, we are promoting, you know.
Yes.
You see?
But we gonna have to verify these documents.
Do what you want, man. No.
Judge me, but I never will bow. Lord, for the longest live I prevail. You try to make your power show. For the longest live I prevail. Lord, discriminating and you think I don't know. The longest live I prevail. Lord, on the reap what you sow. For the longest live I prevail. I always wonder if it is because I am Rasta man. Why every day me have to face bad energies in a Babylon disaster plan. always accuse I, criticize my identity. Them see the evidence prove right, still they try to condemn me. One look at my ID, they use their thoughts and brutalize me. Do they know that who I am? The moment they hear my voice, they criticize me.
Are you getting boisterous, sir? Yo, easy, man. Put your boy hands up. Easy, man. I have to talk for my rights. I have to defend myself.
Yeah, this weakness.
No, but I ain't enough over yourself. Verify our documents. And that's the son. Legal.
See, through immigration, legal. You understand? Some of our own people discriminate against ourselves just to be what? Keep a job and make themselves seem important. Wicked behavior. I tell you, loss of your mentality. Watch it.
Whoa, yeah.
Slipping and sliding, don't worry yourself. Listen.
Whoa, yeah.
Wicked.
The wicked are the sorry when they're called up to the Almighty.
Pastors.
Never look into the prophecy. When the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, where you gonna run to when Jah call you?
You see? This is the thing, you know. We wait till something happens to us, you see? And then we want to start calling on God to help us. You see? And then we make people believe so that we really work with it. You see? So, over the years, I've always been hearing people using these verses saying, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. A serious thing, you know. So, you have some people, them, especially America. I don't hear nobody about here as yet. You understand? But me hear some of the Garveyites, them just use it too. You see that my people are destroyed through the lack of knowledge. And this is the Bible, Hosea. And then you have some people, them take it and twist it around and add to it. I'm not going to add to it, I'm going to subtract. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge because thou have rejected God. Now you have another verse, you know. We are going to go through the Bible and show people them say, oh, them trick themselves up, man. And then them bring certain things and say that it's all for us. And us that them talking, or them want to make people believe it's us, the children of the slave. Not paying attention to the fact that we not come from both this place in the diaspora. We were captured. Black people, understand that, you know. We were captured and brought to another civilization, another people's culture amongst another set of people with them cultured practice and everything else. Understand that. I don't know how you get to classify something that belongs to someone else and not understanding that you're not part of that someone else. What the hell's wrong with us? So now we have Isaiah. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. You understand? And this is just excerpts from the book. Because if you read the whole thing, you you understand what the reasoning or what is being projected, to a particular set of people, a particular community, a particular one who asks a question, or Isaiah being a prophet or a messenger or something, him talk to a congregation. But let's move on. So now we're going to Romans. Those who lack faith. Those who lack faith will not hear the words of God. Of God. They won't hear, you understand, the words of God. Them lack faith. And I don't want to bump it yet. Now we go to John. And I shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So, 1, 2, 3. These 4 is really to do with knowledge, knowing something. You know how them skip to the loo through the books. I mean, I do that now, You see? And you also have the saying that people are perish for the lack of knowledge. People perish through the lack of knowledge. People perish through the lack of knowledge. That's a good one, because you can emphasize on that all day, all night. You understand? For weeks. And make it logically fit to whatever is happening in your community, your district, or your congregation. Because it's all about knowing something and doing, acting and reacting, responding, being dutiful. You understand? So you can build a wall around that. There's nothing erroneous about that. You see? But that's just an excerpt again, being fished out of particular areas of the book to make a point. That's what our pastors do. Don't get angry, pastor, because, you know what I mean? I know I say when I think when it does mean well, but when I don't stay the course to help the people them, because you're there upon helping yourself. Right. So we up here now, whenever talk about somebody and it says that what is now being said really, I try to be emphasized, that true to the crucifixion and everything, all is well for those who lack knowledge. No. How did this happen? This is Corinthian. Because Christ, therefore, because of Christ dying, there's no need for anyone ever to gain. You understand? Because Christ's death allows one to be free. You see how these people do things? Because they might lead you down a pathway of nothingness, Of nothingness. And that's how come we behave. A lot of people behave a certain way and do certain things. Because you feel say you can do all these things and you don't have to pay a price for it. It's like me can do wickedness and everything could. Just don't make police catch me. So now me turn for my own people and do my wickedness too. Because police not going to try catch me. Police going to try get involved. When I turn my girl children them into this mess. Police will get involved. They will love it. They will get their thrills. This is how them take officials and they start it. and Corinthians, and they start it. Because it does say that. But do they read the full contents of the thing? And to whom is it being referred to? What is the incident? What are the people? What type of behavior? So you see, extract something and just do that. And it's we who cripples ourselves. And the people them that do this, they not refer to these things. They've outgrown these things. Because them love this type of behavior at certain parts or certain times of the year. There's certain events. But many of the people them in Europe have outgrown these things. So it's some underground little people them just do all kind of little something. That's why you hear all these little something with pedophilia, this, that, that. Because them can't help themselves. So why should we meddle with all these things? And it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with us. It's very difficult to extract something that's fitting. Okay, we can go down here now. Here. Know ye the truth, and the truth will set you free. So, be with truth. Be with uprightness. Be with sincere people. Speak truth. And you'll always be on the right side. If you have to be judging somebody, try to know and extract the truth out of that which they are being a part of. And since you're connected to them, and you do receive the truth, or you can unravel what you perceive to be the truth, you will be free. And maybe the person who's doing whatever they're doing, and they're willing to hear, then we'll see the truth. So you deal with people that was honest, you'll be free. Because what is true for me may not necessarily be true for them. So if we are correcting, that means someone is appreciating your wisdom. If the outcome of that which you are projecting is accepted, alhamdulillah. If it is not, but that's your premise, you are free from any entrapment. I saw me see it. You understand? So me see it. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge because you have rejected knowledge. I will also reject you from being praised for me. From me. No, I will also reject. I also will reject you from being praised for me because you have forgotten the law. So, the law, what is this? This is Yaqub, Bani Israel, that strayed away from adhering to the law that Moses was given, and they had to live according to. But since them decide to stray away from that, it is saying you that they have no knowledge of the law, Because them refuse. They refuse to hear to it. So now them live a life of destruction. You remember? Them left Egypt to set up themselves. Not that Egypt hurt them. They're establishing themselves according to writs and rights. But they couldn't help. Many of them could not help. Remember them at 40 and 40 out there in the wilderness, you know, right? 40 years, not days, sorry. You understand? They couldn't help themselves. Many. So showing them that too you have, you're swaying like a sidewinder snake. And you're only picking up the law, looking at part of the law when you run yourself in a trouble. Now if you don't have knowledge of the law, how are you going to be successful? My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And their mouth says that they forgot the law. But their mouth didn't say that. They say that they've outgrown that which Moses did bring. We're big boys now. We're big people now. We have seen things. We have sown our own seeds. We have established our own kingdom. We have our own head cornerstone. We are do for we self. And Christ is saying, yes, I can see that. But you need the guidance from the Almighty because He gave you that opportunity, everyone. Now, if you desist from that, your life is in trouble, all of you. But you see how me I say it and how them write it? It seems like God have forsake all the rest of the people them on the earth. And only these people is valuable stock. Wrong move. Wrong move again. So how does African Americans and all these other tampers associate themselves with that, saying that this is God talking to black people? I mean, I wouldn't dismiss it, but because Bonnie Israel and so forth, yeah? So, what happened to the rest of the people then? I was putting God in some little box and showing that God don't really care about nobody else. So then when Al-Islam come and said that this is for mankind, you understand? When I turn around and say that Muhammad wanted to control the universe, control the whole world, want to be a dictator to the whole world and everything. And it's not Muhammad saying anything, you know. This is the thing with people. It's not Muhammad saying anything. It's Allah saying. Muhammad don't dictate nothing in the Bible, in the stuff, in the Quran. Does not. Him not ask me and anybody to do anything, you know. This is what people fail to understand. And they fail to understand because they don't read. Them have them own opinions and them listen to people them who are perverted and have them own opinion and who cannot tolerate something that tells them soul what they are actually doing and to desist from that behavior or their tendencies. I am fully convinced that that's why people are scared of some people are scared of the Quran. Not scared of Muslims, they're scared of the Quran. Because the Quran talks to their conscience. It makes them see themselves. Yeah. And anything that them think that they were smart in doing, it reveal it to themselves and say, hey, hear what you have to do this, cause this is what you've been doing. You have to stop that. And them thing that you did the other day that you think say you did hide. No, you never hide it. You hide it from yourself. You never hide it. You see? Oh yeah. And them say, "Chow, bloody hell, man. Take that thing away from me." They get scared. Anybody out there who thinks it's not true, grab the Quran, man, and read it. Read it. Read it slowly. Even if you read it fast, but read it. And don't jump around. Just read it. Read each chapter. Read every surah. Take your time. Serious. I know you're going to say, "Oh boy, this Moses, he's going on and on and on and on. 287 verses. Wow." Yeah. But it's not all about him. It's a journey. It's a journey. Long journey. You understand? Series of events. A lot of encountering. And a whole heap of conversation with Pharaoh. A whole heap of life forms in Kemet that you never hear a thing about. Read it, man. And once you finish Surah Al-Baqarah, Moses not done, him just start. It just start, because him life continues. His experiences, his endeavors, the teaching of the law, the administration of the law, the functionality of the law, and the journey within the people. Now we can do that, but as people have to be willing, and willing to appreciate, and willing to exercise themselves. Why do I choose the word exercise? Look how easy it is that we play music, we have to perform, we have to rehearse, we have to unite with self. In that, we exercise with self for athletics. I don't know why we still run for these people, but we do. But we still have to exercise with self. We have to train. We have to train. Condition with self. We do so much things like that. Not for ourselves though, for others. To give them benefits and give them awards. Should we not exercise with self, with the law? Perfect ourselves and use that law and see where it takes us. Don't be skeptical of it. Just indulge. Just participate. Be consistent. But I would then say, those who want to do that needs to find the Torah. So then, as Garvey said, look to Africa. So then you have to go straight into Ethiopia, Abyssinia, and learn the Torah so you can get the Injil of Christ, Isa alayhi salam. And then you can be free. Not then you, we can be free. But we are work with a European concoction. We are work with Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and James. James 1 and 2. and Peter. And then Saul that became Paul. And then a lot of other writers, Shakespeare and others, these other people, them that got together and restructure something to fit the United Kingdom. Because if you take the Lutheran Bible from Germany, that is also written in English as well, translated in English, you see that they are dissimilar. And if you take the Douay-Rheims Catholicism, Catholics of Rome, dissimilar. Not just the numbers of books. You have textual similarities and dissimilarities. Serious thing. But should that be our concern? No, our concern should be linking to Africa and try and find out where our ancestors come from, to find our name, to call ourselves, and know our language, our languages, to reconnect our being to there. It hasn't happened. The Europeans had no intention of reconnecting us with our people. What they've done is put another set of people in our place and leave us as stray people on this planet. And that me I said for 2020, I may say it, no, me I said all the while, me I could keep saying. What we keep trying to do is always come with new things all the time. Because we have to get over the first phase. And we haven't. And then we want to talk about spirituality and to talk about our ancestors in a spiritual zone, in a spiritual realm. No, we know that we're supposed to be doing that. But here what happened? Do right by them is to insist that we are repatriated. Doing right by them ourselves is for we to know that continent, to know those people, to choose from that continent, to indulge in any tribe, any nation on that continent. That's reconnecting. The Caucasian ain't telling us, and they've refused to let us know precisely where they take our people from. And they refuse to repatriate us. They refuse to allow us to be independent even in our thoughts. But they only accept us working for them and dying for them. Come on, people. Seriously. Look at all the advertisement throughout this late December, late November and all December. They're still there upon the thing, clean water, this girl, someone is going to marry her off and this and that. Hey, the same thing I'm take with India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, them are used now on Africa. They didn't drop this year, this late November, December, female mutilation. Them gone upon a marriage thing. Them gone upon a 7-year-old child and everything. Because what they must show you now, little more they would link that now to the Muslim now. Link that now to say that this is what Muslims endorse. You see? Because what they're showing you there is a little girl. And the thing is about 3 minutes. But they're our saviors, right? They're on the continent. they've depicted this type of behavior, allegedly, and they are doing and showing that they are such a responsible set of people. They are doing and willing to do something about it. And there's X billions of us, right? And we're so immoral. There's 52 nations. But people tend to forget that, well, we don't really, but the way we speak, and we let them speak for us. Like we don't have these borders, France sector, British sector, and so on and so on. I thought that David Lammy was making it very clear that these charities and exploitation of Africa and so forth, but them turn it to another notch. So was he helping them? Have a look for yourselves. I mean, yeah, I know some people say them now what's tell lie vision. You understand? But hey, the man them have flat farm, them put out their news out there and everything else. We're here, right? If we're not trying to see, participate, to participate within ourselves, to extract and have a good look at that which is put there and everything, so we can know something, then we're wearing blinkers voluntarily. I know what it is. We know what it is. But we need to what? Disseminate that which is beneficial to us. If you've got one. It's not all of we have one. And it's not all of us needs to have one. But just in case one finds a need to have one, make use of it. And that may I say. Don't just turn around and say it's the tell lie vision and you have a big hype on that. So what? You not read the news. You don't read newspaper. You don't take up the tabloids, you don't take up the Caribbean paper them and the African paper them, don't check news. So if Garvey was here now, what? You're going to say, well, choose the African Post, I will read that one. But then when you check him now, you see that him read all 15 newspaper. We are going to say. You understand? You have to deal with the thing properly. Stop trying to score points. I do sometimes. You can't help. But some people do it deliberate. I'm not doing it deliberate. I don't think so. And I would pray God that I'm not doing it deliberate, intentionally. But I know when I read these things, I deal with them intentionally. Hosea 6:4-6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Not true to the lack of knowledge, you know. You see, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And it's all about this rejecting knowledge. Now, I've just told you, the knowledge that they reject is knowing the law. The law of how to conduct affairs and live. It's like the Muslims, we are say, we want to be able to live in the Western man area with the law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you, which is Sharia. Now, when I say that we want to take over England and institute Sharia in the British Constitution, that's what the scaremongers them put out there. No Muslim is really saying that. And I said no Muslim is really saying that because there are some people that when them talk to these people, them advocate it like that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet never tell me nothing like that. You understand? For we land that we're supposed to institute these things. But if you go to somebody else's land and then refuse you to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is requested of us and required of us, then we should leave. Because his world is very spacious. That's what Allah says. Huh? I've made the world so spacious. So if them refuse you and you can't pray, you cannot pray. Not do all other things, you know. You cannot worship me. You can't pray. Them prohibit you from praying. They make life difficult for you to pray and everything. They don't want you to pray for them country. You should pick up yourself and leave. Don't cause no problem. Him never said for beat down Babylon and make them know I said that I'm a Muslim and I have a right. No, he never said that. That's why you're given the understanding of the children of Israel, the children of Jacob, that them called Jacob. In Egypt came it. Them part ways because Ramses was not allowing them to flex accordingly, but then you had Joseph who saved the people them. Not one set of people, you know. All the people them that was in Egypt came it. That's why I'm always asking people, who came first? Joseph of the many coats and colors, or Moses? So you get a picture, clear similarity and understanding. Because when people start telling things, them divorce things, they cloud things, and then pick up and choose what they want and build something around something that's at a different time. And it represents something completely different. Because we're talking about generations, and we're talking about a people, and we're talking about nations. See? I don't know why how some people read. That's why I'm always on this pastor. Because pastor them can help. But pastor do what they might do because they're earning money. Yeah. Lots of people are listening to me today. That's good, man. That's good, because it's New Year. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, my people are destroyed for lack, not for lacking. You know, in today's language, should be saying for lacking of knowledge, for lack of knowledge, because thou have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. You understand? So you have to say to yourself, who's talking to whom here? And then they turn around and tell you that this inspired person and everything. So you never get that. You see? And this is when them push themselves in there now to make certain points and leave what is written there. So who's the priest? No praises. Right? They shouldn't receive any. From who? From God. They can't be talking about Christ and these things. But to the European man, them want to put themselves somewhere where they should not be putting themselves. And if them say that the testimony belongs to God, how is it that them find it possible to inject themselves in there? They're interfering with things to make themselves important. Huh? Since you've refused the law, I will also forget you. You understand? Because you're not adhering to the law. And you're lacking knowledge. Why are you lacking knowledge? The knowledge of what? So these people out there in America now want to tell black people are for we because we're having to go to the European man them school and everything. Yeah, because we're stuck inside of him place. He never send we back home. And the tongue that we have, we are follow him. The subjects that we do is where him are for we. So what else we can do? It's not that we have another language and we refuse with language. It's not that we have a culture that we have. Everything that we do, we have depicted all our lifestyle is, and he has aided us in doing that. We have a certain liking for colors and particular garments because he's made those things over the time accessible to us. We are the strange people in a strange land. And it's their land. What we've been able to do is survive in a for them land with hardship and stress and misery. And then being dishonored, racially dishonored. So if they take off the shackle off my feet and my hand, I put them on my hand and put me out there, me free? No, them take them both off, but them leave me in the land. Am I free? No. I'm still the maid and servant. And then for someone to turn around and say, well, you can leave. Listen, I'm disenfranchised. I don't have no connection. Only my mind is telling me, my spirit is telling me that Kemet is where I come from. Africa is where I come from. But I have no connection. And then I don't know the language. Our languages. I don't even have the dialect. So stop this nonsense about the management me free. Why don't you pick up yourself and go somewhere? Stop it. Many of us have done that. And trying to integrate. And how long is a piece of string? How long is time? How much time are we going to be able to have? But some of the bodies that was in Europe, them help, them take, and made it possible, and fund them every goddamn year. So within 70 years, they was able to build a state, them have library, everything. And you can't read no annals without them in there, so it come like they were always there. Them changed the calendar of the earth and put Israel up there, so. And all my children and your children are going to come by and show you, say, Israel. And no matter how you read this book, and show you see that Israel is a people, not a land, not a state, them going to turn around and say, no, you got it wrong. All tabulators, computers, all virtual libraries and everything. What? Nobody not talk about no Ethiopian flashes or anything, you know. The real McCoy, the real deal. Nobody not talk about that. What have we done? What have we allowed these things to happen to us? And it's we, why am I saying we? We're in a good position being here in the West. But we refuse. We refuse and choose some pittance. Damn jackass pastors. Choose some pittance. And then put on the bright light and put a camera. And you feel say, yeah. And they give me opportunity, a big congregation, and you feel say, yeah. And you're not telling the truth. You're not even exposing them by just reading what them put there and say, listen, there's a lot of questions need to be asked here. Or, this is not ours. These are the same people that use this thing to come and get our foreparents and then bring we in these places. So now we are going to go back to we grandparents them, or them used to beat drum and sing certain things to say, we are leave. We don't want to be like them ones that want to sit down there so and tie themselves up against the tree and stick them foot down inside the soil like them can grow. We want to leave. And this King James or whoever, he ain't going to help us do that. But here, Watson, I know how to manipulate it. And that's what a lot of our great-grandparents them set out to do, and were doing. You need to listen to some of them songs, you know, that the man quickly got into. And now let us sing in church. And prohibit us from singing what belong to us. And him start write some ballads like us and wanted us to sing them more than to sing our own. Because them catch on. They did catch on. There's some people want to tell us that they didn't. I don't know what kind of language you think you're speaking or reading. There's a lot of church you go into, you pick up the hymn and prayer book and read it. If you can't sing, read it. Read it. They weren't bashful to say that Ojukwu used to sing, Mama Nanny used to sing, wrote some. Hey, them not bashful in doing that, you know. But the whole context isn't hers. It's interpolated. So instead of we striving to send a message to get free, then box we in the corner and say, yeah, you like that, so all these verse. That's what they did. That's what I say. Some people need to review, analyze, analytically, and as well, analyze Siaga. I tell you, the man they work on with fast, and we work deep. And it wasn't him, it's a big organization. Work on that serious. And they knew that them had a good student. And them aid that student. Them supported that student. And give him the resources that's required to venture and do what he was doing. Social science. I tell you, people that live and yet still them blind to it. You think Sebastian's blind for real? I don't know where them get that from, you know. Yeah. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Yeah. Which people? So, transition. Back there in Ronald Reagan time, the American economics. There's a man named Alan Greenspan. Where's Africa Greenspan? The African Greenspan are in the U.S., aiding and supporting the U.S. These kind of economical giants, economists, we need on the continent. But we need them to be free people, not participants of the West. The Federal Reserve of the United States, Alan Greenspan, you know, can wreck nations. Not just prop up and make America so matured, you know. Them people that wreck other nations that them perceive to be going in a direction that will weaken them. So before them people get there, before them country them get there, them pull strokes, them set up systems against these countries. And Africa seemed to be a subject of these things all these years. Like they don't have no intelligence, no knowledge. That's why I put the two things together. You see what I mean? Because what happened? And then them have this thing in them pocket, side pocket or back pocket, the International Monetary Fund. And then you have the African nations being seduced to seek economical support from the International Monetary Fund, which is European people, because they're trying to follow these people, and them have a thirst for that which these people have. So them structure themselves in alliance and agreement with these people's system. Next thing you know, they cripple you. Any how you decide to flex as an independent sovereign nation, them cripple you. And Jerry Rawlings was one of their subjects to show the rest of the African nations them it is possible to use the International Monetary Fund and come out the other side. Yes. So now them have them all. Hook, line, and sink. And all your reserve, all the material wealth is tied up with European and American nations. Or American states. Fat cats. So Britain is smiling because she knows her colonial interest has never been ceased. So to decide that they might come out of the European nation thing, what them say is Brexit, them know where them bread buttered already. Them know. And they know that they're in control. It's not a matter of negotiating anything, you know. And the Queen hand over the realm of the Commonwealth to her son, the loyal son, Charles. And I have to say it like that, loyal, honorable son, Charles. You see? And we're still trying to figure out things. African and the children in the diaspora. Right. Subject one. That was Alan Greenspan. Yeah. So what did Britain do? 2018, this was released. Yeah. When will Britain face up to its crimes against humanity? This is the compensation that them gave to all these slave owners throughout the British Empire. These billions, and Africa don't get a cent. Huh? This is England. This is the last penny that was received. And this is the equivalent of 300 billion pounds. But we are the children of the slave. And we're here about Nathan Mayer Rothschild. This is the dynasty that's been here forever. And they transition and transition and transition. Children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nephew, niece, cousins. Yes. And the aim's objective remain but the same. Never been brought to book. And the British government never been brought to book. Never been questioned. The closest we get to something was to ask Tony Blair, is he going to apologize to the slaves? Not a single word of an apology, which them know because them were speaking Latin and whatever nonsense before, then integrate the two something with German and everything. They got a thing called English. So they know the implications and the meaning and how that word in whatever context is used, what them put themselves within. And they refuse. It's England we are chat about. And it's English language. It's not speculative. No. But yet still we allow them to racially abuse us. And we don't cry. And we don't stipulate it very clearly. But another set of people stipulate it very clearly and break the party because they cry foul, anti-Semitic, behaviors and infringement on their well-being. And we behave like we's iron. We don't rush. We can tolerate anything, anytime. No matter which hurricane storm come, we can tolerate it. So that's why they don't take us serious. We don't sacrifice anything. And all these people do is set up themselves, variant systems, and then break the back of the Labour Party. And Jeremy Corbyn, them just use him as a figure. Because him open him mouth and say something stupid. It was sensible, but it's stupid. Because him not reached nowhere yet. But he might try to say, if him win, he might go give back make the Palestinian people them have back for them territories and rare. And the people them say, what? No, we can't afford to have that. So what do you think they were doing? Looking for offside? You think of football this? No. And them change the landscape, change the condition, and make people believe say that they were victims. And they started the picture. At the same time, Miss May didn't get pushed out because of that which happens to us for immigration purposes. No, we didn't do nothing. It's the Brexit. And a set of people who said we're not tolerating this woman. She's not siding, she's not understanding what we are saying. And they decided not to adhere to her, vote for her, then vote her out. They make her do all the work, but never voted for it. And now them take the same work, and the Queen going to tell us that it's been honored. And I'm saying, wait a minute. How is this? And the whole country's been hoodwinked because of journalism. You now watch the television, right? You don't read the papers either. Because of journalism. Media propaganda touch the hearts and the sentiments of the people. And why is the election was going on? They were campaigning. And we supposed to be on top of the race relation. I keep asking, someone need to get Trevor Phillips and find out what the hell did he do and where he's at. And who the hell was his replacement or is his replacement? Because we've been left naked. Is this racist? How come? Is this Semitic? How come? We're being used. And anytime they talk about racism in relation to culture or ethnicity, them always put gay in there. Them always talk about other things and add that there. But when them talk about anti-Semitic, they don't do that. They don't do that. You know, these people they're more dear to the British people than Christ is in the King James Bible. I'm telling you. You see? Why am I doing this? Because, why am I saying all these things? Because it's a new year. And transition has taken place already. The transition is there's a lot of young people that is coming into international, state, and home politics. Some of those same young people are very racist. Them don't want to tolerate nothing to do with black people or Africa. But them have a different way about going about it, obviously. But they've been taught by the ones them who were previously in those positions, transitioning. The gentleman I mentioned earlier, Alan Greenspan, you think, sir, Alan Greenspan just gone? No. Alan Greenspan had a lot of people that he was responsible for vetting, training, to have knowledge. To do what? Represent that country. And what is he at 93? Still an advisor. He's valuable. Transitioning. Where's our transition? What is our transition? We just receive the same behavior. We just receive the same structure that they've given before. And when they see that we're close to something, which is 1 in 2 of us, they turn around and say, no, leave them, give them a stage. Give them a stage, give them somewhere to hear themselves. They'll be forgotten tomorrow. No media, no good use of the media resources that is there. Our children are being killed and killing one another, and various other things are happening. We haven't sat down and said, here, what happened? No. We've run down to the mayor office and have some artificial affairs with them, and then him can put a statement out saying that him are gonna put up this money and we really care about, and nothing's happened. Nothing happens because here what we need to get down to it. And nothing about money. We need to understand what is influencing our children and what's also influencing us. Serious thing. And be responsible for ourselves. But we ain't showing that. We're not showing that. We're not showing that. So, let me leave that one there for now. Let me go over here to Mugabe. Yeah? Why Robert Mugabe? Robert Mugabe is the last of those who understood how this democracy and how the hypocrisy in the democracy has been working, and how the colonial institutions within Africa, how they were established and how they work. Now, Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe, was being misused by an institution in England the Lancaster House and this Lancaster House agreement, and Robert Mugabe become a thorn in a them side because he was meant to be an apologist. He meant to just be an agreeist. He meant to just say yes, yes, Bwana, and done. And them say no. First of all, our independence, we have a right to construct our own constitution. Yes. And we want our own sovereignty. Yes. And we want back our land. We don't want someone come capturing we land and tell we say that we're independent and them own up we land. No. And this length of time that you want to give us to say that wise you sort yourselves out and so forth, I'm not agreeing to that. Independence means you come out. We will determine what we're going to do with our country. And the Lancaster House, in terms of Britain, and the ones that deals with the Commonwealth and the colonial past, decided no. And then go through this thing of time to frustrate him. And it would appear to other people that he wasn't doing anything. So another generation come, and that generation now see this and start saying that he's stolen, he's not, right? And then the whole of the European people that was already in there, set up with Ian Smith and everything, crumbled the economy of the country, suffocate them, and put embargoes on them. You see, once you develop a sweet tooth and your people them is in there, it's very hard to turn them around to conform to that which is theirs. You see, we need to learn from Cuba, Fidel Castro, Che Guevara. You have to be contented with what God gave you and the land that you have and what you produce in that land. But Ian Smith had the people them Europeanize and condition. And then them send Morgan in Shangri-La to create another problem with a different generation, a young group of people that were intelligent also, well learning and aspiring for the land. Now him create division among the people. Now we have the same thing again, before my man start withering out. So what happened? Him gone, and a generation is there working with the colonial bosses. So that which he tried to accomplish seemed like nothing, because we're not very good at this transitioning. And when you examine what happened in Grenada, you see that they didn't want any transitioning. That's why they killed everyone that they deemed to be associated with Maurice Bishop and the new structure that they wanted to put in place, they had put in place in Grenada. But no one sends anyone into Jamaica, and anyone into Trinidad and Tobago to sort out the disease and the ills that is taking place. Jamaica yesterday and Trinidad today. No one shows any form of determination to say, let we change the condition in the state and the political ramification and the social ramification and the human rights ramification in Jamaica. No, they don't do that. No, they don't want to change the criminality and the landscape of what's taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. They won't do that. And we sit back and don't say, wait a minute, it's Wagwan. Caribbean. So, God bless Robert Mugabe. We haven't We haven't been successful. And South Africa. Yeah? And South Africa. Nothing change. The transition has taken place, but nothing change. But some people of ours from the diaspora will go over there and say, yeah, wonderful. It's wonderful for the Caucasian. Of his district that you're looking at. And the selected middle class, selected black people that them give a middle class status to be in particular regions, you jackasses. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. Subservient, mentally fools, lacking of knowledge. But it's not knowledge. You're not paying attention. And that's how South Africa is structured. But because you see some good buildings, but you don't go down Cape Town. Have you? Where are you looking, Johannesburg? What are you looking at? Oh, the sexy women. Is that what you're looking at? Wishing. Come on, man. Let's be sensible. And then you have the cheek to be reporting on these things like it's... Hey! The white man, them, the Boers are the, whatever the hell them call them, the Dutch, them living large. Nothing to change. Them larger than large. And the foolish little black man, that is the middle class, them give him some little privileges, and it's the middle class league. Is we I look upon. And unfortunately, you see, for them our daughters, and you're lost for them. Because when they move like serious empresses with some European standard clothes on. That you look upon and say, yeah. Which year? Which year? Because you want to get into the apartment. I tell you. And one and two of them want to keep connection with their Africanness, them tribalness, them culturedness, and them book one and two on. Huh? Or them put it out there that them workers book one and two on and feel say, yeah, we're not gratified with that. We understand that. Chinese don't do it though. Indians don't do it though. How comes just we? Are we that stupid? We lacking of this knowledge? Yes. What is the knowledge that we're lacking of? Self. Self. So we're going to soon hear Zimbabwe return. Them meeting Chatham House, the meeting Leicester House, Lancaster House. It's been happening. And they've been training young, the transitional groups long time. Long time. We sat back and watched them destroy Libya and said nothing. But now we want to say, yeah, man, Colonel Gaddafi was going to be doing something marvelous for Africa. And looking at the economy, sorting out his monetary situation. Yeah, we always can do those things. Constitution, serious thing. What have we done with it, man? You know, what have we done with it? What have we done with it? Do we really understand constitutions? Do we really understand constitutions? thing will give me some trouble now. This wagwan. Trouble there, yard. Sometimes I wonder if it's okay. Me see over. Shortcut the infiltrators. Oh gosh. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Mm-mm. Give me 1 minute. This thing is not obeying me. You know? So you hear it? Oh, me. Yeah. I deal with you, you know. It's just that you don't want to obey me. Yeah, sometimes. Yes, we're there.
Yeah, you know. Reaching out, teaching out, speaking out. Boy, reaching out. Alright.
It's called computerized technical problem. See, we learn every time. We not stop learning until we did, you know. See, so hear what? Listen.
Yeah, you know. Reaching out, teaching out, speaking out. Boy, reaching out. Alright. Oh, me say be careful of the things that you're doing. Be careful of the things that you say. Be careful of the fingers that you point, cause I say you feel judged now. Be careful of the things that you're doing. Be careful of the things that you say. Be careful of the fingers that you point, cause I say you feel judged now. If I know my bungle, me nah pull it. She got them a squeeze, so me going that's the bullet. If I know my bungle, me nah pull it. Me still have to survive, them I wonder how me do it. Mind me own business, most of all, me nah go watch them sing. Check the corruption and the slackness where the dirty life bring. I no care who a smoke marijuana from the liquor drinking. Rasta keep the fire burning. I no partial, no virgin, neither sister. Let the wrong stay wrong, you can't write in everything. Some got voodoo from here to and some foreign. I leave all judgment to the king. Yes, if I know my bungle, me nah pull it. She got them a squeeze, so me a dance the bullet. Hey, if I know my bungle, me nah pull it. I still survive them, I wonder how me do it. Yo, if I know my bungle, me nah pull it. She got them a squeeze, so me a dance the bullet. Yo, if I know my bungle, me nah pull it. Yo, I survive them, I wonder how me do it. That way I no see heart no live. Me no want know. Enough backbiting make good friends turn four. Me bunny news carrying left that I road. But mine is a two-edged sword. Like how me neighbor say me chippy like a cursing pan. But I no matter that I got a working plan.
See, so we have to learn. You understand? We have to learn and do something about that which we learn. And then we seek knowledge to improve. Not just myself, ourselves. See, it starts in the home, start with the families, and then it expands and it expands and expands. Not we will die crazy. Why? Because that which we have learned, we have not shared, we have not passed on anything. You see what I mean? That's foolishness. Foolishness. See? So there's some people out there more wiser, more knowledge, have more knowledge and understanding about something. Don't push up your chest. You understand? Share. Share. Big youth.
Yeah. The 27 Psalms, my brethren. And when you try to just keep it in your heart. Keep it in your mind. Keep it in your thoughts. The Lord is my light and my salvation, of whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? Because when the wicked, even my enemies and my foes came up on me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. No one shall encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. No wall shall rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desire of John, that will I seek God, that I may dwell in the house of Jah all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of John, to inquire in his temple. Cause in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret places of his tabernacle shall he hide I. He shall set me up upon a rock, and now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round and about me. I will sing yea, and I will sing praises unto Jah. Hear, O Jah, when I cry with thy voice of mercy, also put me and answer me. Cause when thou saidest seek ye thy face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Jah, will I seek, God. Put not thy servant away in anger. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O Jah, of my salvation. Cause when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord God, the Rastafari, will take I. He shall not suffer thy foot to be moved. Only with his eyes shall he protect and guide us day by day, night by night. Jah will guide us in every way. So people keep the faith no matter how the time gets rough. People keep the faith no matter how the time gets dread. Cause the Lord is my light and my salvation, I say. Just keep the faith and hold on. Keep the faith and keep on keeping it on. Keep the faith and keep on doing on. Keep the faith and keep on doing good, like you know you should in your neighborhood. To all the people you can, in every way you can. God the Lord is my light and my salvation. 27 Psalms I say. No war shall rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing wise desire of John, that will I seek, God, that I may dwell in the house of John the days of my life, to behold the beauty of John, to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me way up in his pavilion, and take me up in higher, ever higher, 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 higher. Jah shall take I and I in higher region, take me to the city. What a beautiful city, where the people show a love and happiness and have it. For the Lord me light and all my salvation. The Lord that I'm a telling never fear. On the wicked man we have no fear. Keep on doing on, keep on moving on, keep on living on, keep on living up and do the good you can. Keep on doing good, 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 like you know you should, as I was saying. Oh, the Lord, don't leave it on you. Said you leave it like you love it, and you love it, and you love it, and you love it. Cause love is good and love is wonderful. Love is good and love is wonderful. Wonderful love, you know. God the Lord is my light and my salvation. Song of David. David sing another. Sing another song of Brother David's song. Song of love and happiness. Song of love and peace. Song of love and grace. Song of love and happiness. And I will tell you still again that the Lord is my light and my salvation.
Yeah, man. Spiritually right. Big Yacht, Jayot, Zane. Yeah, man.
Alright then.
You think say yesterday we land? You're joking.
Alright then. Lucky day, so mind where your little head lay. Some say, and whatsoever I play, bloodhound should sit and stay. I'm the S for your dose and tray. Some say, when me say, I see urban cowboy. Yes, I you that the devil employ, and are you Mr. Killjoy? They wind you up and let you go like a toy. You should not bow down to the devil in any form. Like your mommy never hug you up and give you anything we warm. They want you to kill each other often. Drink your milk and eat your calf and sure you don't know the other half and you turn a little youth in a orphan. Well, whosoever gets slayed, it's not
the payoff. Now we come to the payoff.
This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Alright then.
Coming straight from out of the dancer.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae.
Whosoever gets slayed, it's not your lucky day. So mind where your little head lay. Some say, and whatsoever I play, bloodhound should sit and stay. I'm the S for your dose and tray. Some say, when me say, I see urban cowboy. Yes, are you that the devil employ, and are you Mr. Killjoy? They wind you up and let you go like a toy. You should not bow down to the devil in any form. Like your mommy never hug you up and give you anything we warm. They want you to kill each other often. Drink your milk and eat your calf and sure you don't know the other half and you turn a little youth in a orphan. Well, whosoever gets slayed, it's not your lucky day. So watch where your little head lay. Some say, when me say, and whatsoever I play, bloodhound should sit and stay. I'm the S for your dose and tray. Some say, when me say, Johnny, Johnny come lately. I said Johnny gone home early, 'cause you done come
completely. Lock your life and throw away the key. We did not come here to sit in your dumpy chair. Disappear, get out of here. We don't want it around here. Where have all the flowers gone? Remember when we used to noise up the lawn? Somebody please beg you, tell me what I want. If you don't know, well, whosoever gets sliced, it's not your lucky day.
Seeing is remembrance. So we have to go through the New Year, you understand these things. And in the day you used to say you have to have resolution. So those of you who drink, don't stop drink. And those of you who smoke, stop smoke. Those of you who don't take care of your girl children or your partner, your woman, take care of her. Show respect. You understand? Yes. Those of you who don't go to school and collect the children them and find out what is happening at the school, attend the school. Pick up your child from the school. Support the child or the children. Do better than last year. But you have resolution for football team. Are you crazy? The team don't belong to you, you know. You're just a supporter. And even then, them not give no freebies. And the new football fans don't want black people around. You're not reading the script.
Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa. Give us love and repatriation. We don't want no explosion. Give us justice and righteousness. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Oh, 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 yeah. Jaja time has come. Give us freedom of reality. Jaja time has come. We don't want no partiality. Jaja time has come. Give us unity, not vanity. Tell you. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Serious thing, you know. Deep. Watch it. Listen.
Minister Malcolm, I'd like to know why you place so much emphasis on calling the freedom struggle among Afro-Americans in this country a struggle for human rights rather than civil rights.
Well, most of our people don't even know the meaning of civil rights. And by not knowing what it is they're actually trying to get, it has eluded us for the past 100 years. Civil rights is supposed to mean citizenship. When you have civil rights, you have citizenship. When you have citizenship, you have civil rights. And if the 22 million Afro-Americans were actually citizens of this country, it wouldn't be necessary to pass any kind of additional legislation to include us in the Constitution. If you notice, whenever the people come here from Europe, they can come here from Poland, which is a communist country. They don't need any legislation to make this Polish person a citizen. They don't need any additional civil rights legislation to make the refugees from Hungary who come here citizens. They don't need any additional legislation to make anyone who comes to this country a citizen. But when it comes to the rights of the black people who are the descendants of slaves, then immediately new legislation is necessary. So this right here implies that when the Constitution was written, in some way or other, it must have excluded those of us who were slaves at that time. And because we were excluded from the Constitution when it was originally written, today they have to amend it in order to include us. But if you notice, the Civil War didn't include us in the Constitution. Had the Civil War Constitution, we would be citizens today. Had the amendments even to the Constitution actually included us, we would be citizens today. If the Supreme Court desegregation decision way back in 1954 was sufficient to include us into the jurisdiction of the Constitution, all of our problems would be solved today. So there's something about civil rights that makes it almost impossible for us to get it. So you have to know the difference between civil rights and human rights. As long as I
understood, you see what I mean? And that them thing that we fought over, we don't understand.
First things first, we look upon the so-called Negro in America as a sick man. When a man, you may say, well, what do I mean sick? If a man has forgotten his name, he's a sick man. They call that amnesia. And if you go to the so-called Negro here in America and ask him his name, he doesn't know it. If a Chinese person came through that door and I asked him his name and he said his name was Patrick Murphy, you'd know he forgot his own name and has picked up an alias somewhere. So we who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when we see so-called Negroes named Murphy and O'Toole and Johnson and Smith and Powell and Wright and Wilkins, which are all English and Irish names, we think that they look just as much out of place as a group of Chinese would look wearing those same names. And they wear these names because they don't know their own name. They have lost their identity, their own identity. So this is amnesia. And by not knowing themselves, when a man doesn't know himself, he doesn't know what belongs to him. He could be the richest man on this earth, but by having lost his identity, he'll walk around like a pauper. So here we have 20 million black people in America who are wearing the names of their former slave master. And by suffering a form of amnesia, they don't have a name of their own, so they've taken your name. They don't know their own language, so they've taken your language. They don't have a history of their own, so they let you tell them what their history is. And that, in essence, is that you found them in the jungle someplace with a spear chasing white people in a cannibalistic way to try and give the impression that white meat is the only good meat to eat.
Why should the black man in America concern himself, since we've been away from the African continent for 400 years, 300 or 400 years? Why should we concern ourselves? What impact does what happened to them have upon us? Number one, first you have to realize that up until 1959, Africa was dominated by the colonial powers, and by the colonial powers of Europe having complete control over Africa, they projected the image of Africa negatively. They projected Africa always in a negative light. Jungles, savages, cannibals, nothing civilized. And naturally, it was so negative until it was negative to you and me. And you and I began to hate it. We didn't want anybody to tell us anything about Africa, and much less call us an African. And in hating Africa and hating the African, we ended up even hating ourselves without even realizing it. Because you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. You can't hate your origin and not end up hating yourself. You can't hate Africa and not hate yourself. And you show me one of these people over here who have been thoroughly brainwashed, who has a negative attitude toward Africa, and I'll show you one that has a negative attitude toward himself. You can't have a negative attitude toward yourself, a positive attitude toward yourself, and a negative attitude toward Africa at the same time. To the same degree that your attitude, that your understanding of an attitude toward Africa becomes positive, you'll find that your understanding of and your attitude toward yourself will also become positive. And this is what the white man knows.
Brothers and sisters, no.
names I name Morris, because the name I have is for a European, not the name of a black African. So take back your name and give a the I name. I don't want this your name. Chinese name Jin and Chung. Macintosh came from Scotland. Indian name Raja and Gavaskar. I'm unsure Smith no come from Africa, oh no. You hear what I say, oh no. My brothers and sisters, no.
Guidance. Yeah, go away. Guidance.
Well dread in a this world. Well dread in a this world.
Now this is an anthem. Now this is an anthem.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector.
Bomber drop, damn you. Energy. Oh, I saw you on labor.
Go ahead, wait. Hey you. Hey you over there. Hey you so.
Well dread in a this world. Well dread in a this world. Dread. This world and its wars. This world and its evil doings. This world and its wars. This world and its evil doings. I said it's getting me down, Jah know. I said it's getting me down. Sometimes it drives me so crazy, oh yeah, oh yeah. This world and its wars, yeah. This world and its pollution. This world, they talk about evolution. This world and its pollution. This world, they talk about evolution. But you know, I'm tired of seeing my brothers dying. Rasta tired of hearing the martyrs crying. In this world, we got to get some change. We've got to live in love. Let that love shine in your heart every day.
See, now him say that, now we realize it. We have a lot of people that are totally depressed. A lot of parents that are suffering from depression. We have a lot of people that suffer with dementia. We have a lot of issues. We miss. We have them. And the only way we can help ourselves, is that we have to recognize that we is all that we have. If we recognize that we are all that we have, we start developing some trust and we start work. You see? Yeah. We will start work. Because then we know exactly what it is that we require. Just trust and just go to work. You understand? Because this year, tomorrow, people want, some people are already set up all kind of thing, like them make themselves. They don't want to change nothing, Everything going to remain the same. That's sad. India change. India, you know.
Not the workers of iniquity. He that exalted himself, yes, shall surely be obeyed. Do that prophet no harm. Yes, he leads the way. Yeah. No weapon that formed against Israel, no, shall prosper, no way. Mark the uproar, and behold the upright. For the end of that man, yes, is peace. Well, mark the uproar, and behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace. Ooh, yeah, why, yeah, why? Israel is Christ's chosen people, so we must go through. Anywhere one or two or three are gathered, speaking of anything touching him, he is there, yes, to bless, boy. Oh yeah, Lord, well, mark the uproar, and behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace, yeah, yeah. Mark the uproar, and know the upright. For the end of that man is peace. Mark the uproar, and know the upright. For the end of that man, yes, is a peace. Mark the uproar, and behold the upright. For the end of that man is a peace. Oh yeah. Words of wisdom, oh yeah. Words of wisdom.
Yes, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. And we haven't. Remember, we're the children of the slaves. All that we have learnt and are learning is that which the man made available to us. Because we're still in his compound. We're still dependable on him. We are still the slaves. Understand that. Recognize that. Don't fuss. Just look at it carefully. And then ask ourselves, why didn't he repatriate us? Why has he not even said or showed us where we've come from? See? And he's offensive, very racist, is intolerant towards us. But we're good servants, and they know that. We play and we amuse him, and they like it just like that. They do. Isn't it about time that we look into ourselves? Or should we wait until our back is against the wall to figure out what our move should be. We've learnt a lot. We have learnt a great deal in the diaspora. But we've not made use of what we have learnt. We haven't. We've let our ancestors, to me, we've let our ancestors down. Because we're here, just surviving. And if they were trying to get home, and if they were persecuted, and if they fought for us to have a life, why haven't we been trying to go home? Why haven't we been persecuting our captives to go home? I tell you, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. So, we as a people have to remember what we've been all about. You see? Guidance for real. For read this, you know. Don't bother click it.
Africans must be free by the year 1983, when I and I people shall rejoice on the hills of Mount Zion. Africa it's time for us to live a better life.
And that may I say to you, guidance, try to understand, realize, you know what I mean? It's a simple thing, you know? Simple. You see what I mean? You just gotta figure it out and just say, here what I have responsibility for self, I have a family, yeah, guidance. God willing, yeah man, God willing. And condolences to all families who have lost someone. You see? Yeah, because we're in the mourning season again, you know what I mean? So it's inevitable because we're mortal human beings, you know what I mean? We live and we die, you know what I mean? What we don't want is someone to take for our life. You see, or anyone's life for that matter. You understand? So, to each and every one, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, may God Almighty allow us to wake tomorrow to what them call the new year, yeah? And may it be prosperous for us. And may we be prosperous within it and have good health in it at the same time. Guidance.